One of the fascinating things about Hawaiian culture is its personification of very complex forces and patterns in nature over time, say in the course of a year, the changes of the seasons, the way the rains come during a certain time of the year, the way the winds are and the oceans are. And it could be on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, over a long course of decades. The ocean is another good example. The patterns of the ocean, even within the course of a few minutes, to the course of the changes in the tides during the day, to the way that the tides change over the course of a month, all of that is personified in, say, the behavior of the god Kanaloa. The waves crashing on the ocean and the repetitive sound that those make are attributed to the breathing of Kanaloa, for example. And as you look at the tides and their monthly cycle, you'll note that certain portions of the Hawaiian lunar calendar are dedicated to Kanaloa, and both on land and in the sea, the patterns of the sea are taken note of, and each portion of the lunar cycle has its ramifications on both land and sea. So Kanaloa, aside from being the god of the sea, also has ramifications for when you're supposed to be planting bananas, or what nights you're supposed to be going into the ocean for fishing, or for just swimming, or gathering ocean water for healing. All of these are based upon the subtle natural patterns that exist in the ocean and are recognized in Hawaiian cultural traditions.
Certain fruits you can plant it anytime, but the banana, we knew that at full moon, when you plant them during full moon time, it grows real good. And there's some of our family still today do that, planting the banana and such, and it becomes so big, the bunch.
We look at the calendar. Hey, we better hurry up. We're going to plant this on full moon, If not, we'll go get them. Let go the other job. We got to get this canoe before the full moon.
Works,
so, yeah, it works. And so far, that's why every now and then we'll say, hey, not full moon, eh? No, not full moon. We better wait until full moon and plant.
Actually, when I go down the beach, I look at the moon. Where is the moon? Okay. New moon starting. Okay, that is all good time for fishing, new moon. And even if the moon gets a little bit big, it's good. But when the moon is small, to catch the bait is the white eel that we call tohei now. To catch those guys, it has to be a dark night. So when the moon is up there and it goes down, the white eel will bite. It's a good time for the moon and good time for the ocean. I would go down there, charm, 15, 20 minutes later, I would get them. They're on the water swimming, 3, 4 swimming around.
By going fishing all the time, you know how the fish going to react in certain weather and certain current. But sometimes they outsmart you. But most time, if you have enough energy to wait, you need to wait and be patient.
Bananas were planted certain times. Vine plants were planted certain times. Fishing was done at certain times in accordance to the moon. Moon charts that you get today will tell you. I'm so glad that they have it today. They'll tell you what plants are planted at certain times, certain phases of the moon. If a child or a family does this and follows the calendar to the T, then the outcome of following the calendar only reaps great benefit.
Just as currents move the waters of the world ocean, so do the tides, which ebb and flow under the gravitational pull of the moon. High tides follow the moon as it orbits the Earth. Canada's Bay of Fundy on the Atlantic coast is famous for its immense tidal flow. Up to 1 trillion tons of water enter and leave the bay with each tide. reach 50 feet and more. Low tides empty coastal channels, leaving veins of red mud. The tides enrich the land enriches the sea.
Every single thing in the universe that has mass has gravity. It's attracted to us. We're attracted to Mars because we have mass and Mars has mass. I'm attracted to this little seed here because I have mass and it has mass. Sure, our attraction for each other is very small because it depends on the mass of this object and it depends on my mass. And then it's divided by the force that we feel between us is divided by the separation squared. Okay? So if I put it twice as far away from me, the gravitational attraction between me and this object is 1/4 the size that it used to be. Okay? And if I put it half the distance to me, then it's 4 times stronger. But even 4 times stronger, if I let it go, it falls to the earth. And the reason is because the Earth is so much more massive than I am. Okay? So this seed pod feels the attraction to the Earth much more strongly than it does to me. Just as we all feel the attraction to the Earth more strongly than we do to each other or to any other physical things. If we jump up in the air, we head back down to the Earth because the Earth is so massive that it requires an awful lot of velocity for us to actually escape from the Earth, to escape from the Earth's surface. Now, every single thing in the universe that has mass has gravity. So the moon has gravity. And the moon is a pretty massive thing. It's not as massive as the Earth, but it's a pretty massive thing to be so close to the Earth. And so we actually feel the effects of the moon's gravitational attraction to the Earth. The ancient Hawaiians, as you will learn or have learned, is they were able to actually write an entire series of things that you should do during the phases of the month, during the times when the gravitational attraction for the moon was changing. And what that meant in terms of how you plant things, what you did, whether you got married or not. All those things they noticed by being natural scientists and seeing that things change depending on the phase of the moon and also the gravitational attraction of the moon, that these things occurred with very much regularity. So it's regular patterns that were discovered by Hawaiians.
Yeah.